Hello, hello. I am out for a walk because it is a fucking gorgeous day. To not be outside would be just another waste of time. So there's going to be a lot of background noise. I'd apologize, but I'm not sorry. So that's not going to happen. Well, I was pretty surprised by how popular my last one became so fast. And I reckoned that if I could make eating disorders funny, I would take a crack at a couple other topics that came up last night while I decided to go on a date and drink. Yeah, I figured out finally, much to my dismay, that I've got this 2-drink limit on wine and probably a 1-drink limit on beer. I just can't tolerate it. And cider, it's just wine and cider, they're too fucking sweet. My body just does not want it. And but last night I went to a cocktail bar and had something called a Randy Kiwi, which I couldn't resist. I had citron vodka and crushed up kiwi in it. It's fucking delicious. And that went down smooth. And then we hopped over to another bar and I got a mojito, and boy, that went down pretty good too. So yeah, the reason why this sucks is because liquor in New Zealand is retardedly expensive. It's just it would be socially irresponsible of me to spend money on booze. It's just, I know it's a treat and it's cool, but for one of our parties at the house, I went to go get a bottle of, pick up a bottle of gin, $6. Anywhere in the States for a cheap bottle of gin, the cheapest was $30. I was like, fuck it, for $30 I can get a bottle of Hendrix in the States. Bottle of Hendrix, by the way, $120 fucking dollars. Oh my God, ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. So last night was really fun. It was my second date with the guy that I mentioned I was about to go on a date with during one of the podcasts, or whatever the fuck this is. And I enjoy his company immensely. We always have a good time when we go out. So far, it's only been twice, but so far so good. And I had what can only be described as the most intelligent drunk conversation I've ever had in my life. Now, granted, I wasn't super wasto. I was lit. I was definitely buzzing. I had a good buzz. It was perfect, actually. But we met the guy who I was on a date with, knew a guy. I don't like using names for privacy reasons, so fuck off. This might get confusing because I'm going to just keep calling people that guy. So there's an older drunk guy. I'm drinking Guinness. Merry old soul. Wicked, you could tell. You could tell. He just was a cool kind of cat. Very talkative. And we were talking, and I don't know how we got on the subject, but he got on the subject of Call of the Wild and was impressed that I knew that the author of that book was Jack London. At least I think it is. He agreed with me. If it's not Jack London, it's Jack Landon. But it's something very close. And thanks to my eidetic memory, I have no idea. I just pulled that out of left fucking field. I had no idea how I knew that. But anyway, we were all talking, and then somehow the conversation got switched. This guy said that he was a microbiologist, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, whatever. Sure you are. I'm sure you're a great many thing, old drunkard. But motherfuck, we started talking about CRISPR and just bacteriophage and DNA splicing and plasma exchange and transfection, and oh my God, I was geeking out so hard. The bio geek in me just went ape shit. I couldn't believe the conversation I was having. It was phenomenal. It reminded me of all of those retreats I went on in graduate school. They'd send us up to the mountains basically to get shit-faced and talk science. And it was so great because the poster session was always after dinner, and everybody would get unceremoniously hammered at dinner time. So you're presenting your poster, crossing your eyes and standing on one leg trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. People who are drunk are asking your drunk ass to explain your research, and who knows? You're probably doing a spectacular job. You ever notice how when you're drunk you get really passionate about whatever you're talking about? You could be talking about dog shit, but for some reason, because you're inebriated, like you're really into dog shit just then. Like, it's great. And when you're talking about science, something I actually know quite a bit about, pat on the back, I was geeking hard. And for me, like, I always knew about RNAi, and I don't expect you guys to know this, so just fuck off for a second. RNAi is amazing. RNA, ribonucleic, oh Jesus, ribose nucleic acid. Look it up. It's the building block of all humans. Not DNA, RNA. Look up Tom Check from the University of Boulder, Denver. I actually got to hear him talk, RNA World. If you don't know this shit, you should, because it's fascinating. Anyway, RNAi is a technology where you can suppress protein function. So you can kind of knock down a protein in a cell and see the effect that it has on cellular function. CRISPR is actually a form of DNA manipulation. So DNA gets transcribed to RNA, which gets translated to protein. So RNAi decreases protein function by inhibiting translation. But CRISPR is really cool because it affects the transcription of RNA. So it's like a one-up level of fuck you, you're not gonna make this. And it's actually a way, they could just cut and paste genes. And I think it's actually going to turn out to be a really creepy technology because basically parents can make the kid that they want. I mean, eventually that's what this is going to become. Or if you're sick, obviously there's going to be great things about it, but the slippery slope is going to be you can custom make a child. You can cut out any defects it has. You can put in I want it to be super strong or stuff like that, like total sci-fi movie shit. I don't even know how I get. See, this is what happens when I talk about science. Anyway, I love it. Biology's great. Anywho, I couldn't believe this conversation I was having. And this guy, he tells me that he's super passionate about microbiology, and he goes, bacteriophage are the fucking bane of my existence. And I kind of chuckle, and I said, why? And he goes, 'cause I make cheese. And he was just so enthusiastic about it. Like, you could tell he was really into making cheese, and that bacteriophage were fucking up his protein growth. And he was talking to me about vancomycin, because I said, I used to make that at Hospira, heaps of it. And he said that he used it in his cheese making because the bacteria he wanted was resistant to vanco. Now, not many bacteria are resistant to vanco. It kills fucking everything. That's why it's such a, it's precious commodity. But anyway, and when he said that he made cheese, I looked at him and I had just like this, just light bulb went off. As who I was looking at, I realized he looked exactly like Monterey Jack. Now, for you who grew up about the same time I did, with a little cartoon called Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Yeah, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers cartoon, hilarious, great. There was a fat, affable, moronic chipmunk called Monterey Jack on that show, and this guy looked exactly like him. Oh, so I was geeking out pretty hard about that. Anyway, I eventually just got sick of talking to a drunk person and just really wanted to talk to the guy that I was with and kind of, I like talking to him. He makes me laugh. Not a lot of people do. Sorry, a lot of people. I mean, everybody makes me laugh for certain reasons, but this guy actually makes me laugh. I'm not laughing because he's ridiculous or, says stupid things that I think are ironic. Like, whatever. I'm done. He makes me laugh. It's a good thing. Anywho, just as I was kind of like, fuck it, I just gotta grab, almost said his name. I just gotta grab my date and head off to like a table so we can just chill. All of a sudden these 3 drunk chicks, well, 2 of them were super duper drunk, one of them was not so drunk, came up and like started talking to the guy I was with and me and this older fellow, the cheese lover, the microbiologist cheesemaker. It was phenomenal. These chicks were hammered. I mean, the one was so drunk. The one that was talking to my date, she was so drunk she couldn't even talk. Like, she was messed up. So they were sitting at that table, and I was talking to them, having a good time. I love people. I adore everybody. I love to get to know people, So I'm chatting up these people, and I noticed that the older dude and one of the drunk chicks are like making to roll some cigarettes, and I was like, come on, guys. I got some smokes my mom sent me for my birthday. You don't have to roll them. You can smoke some real authentic American Marlboros. So I shouted them a smoke. It was good. It was a good time. Just probably one of the best times I've had out in a while. And eventually I had to leave to go to the Friday night wine club, which was a synth party this week. So that was wicked fun. So that's the most intelligent drunk conversation I've had story. Now, apparently, we'll switch gears a little and talk about something else I don't find particularly funny, but I find very interesting, is the fact that apparently talking about politics is just something I'm going to have to put up with as an American. And it's because Kiwis just don't get it. They don't understand the American government. And I can't explain it without going back to the actual nuts and bolts. That it's made of 3 branches, the judicial, the legislative, and the executive. And how the House and the Senate work versus the presidency and the Supreme Court, and how they all kind of play together, and it was installed as a series of checks and balances so that no one branch could have supreme power. Blah, 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 blah. All that shit in school I thought I'd forgotten. And, what really screws them, what really takes their mind for a bend, is the whole state law versus federal law. So I said, for example, in Colorado, you can smoke pot. It's legal in that state. But the FBI, the feds, could come in and arrest you anytime they wanted because it is still federally illegal. Well, they don't get that. And I understand that they don't get that, because what we were talking about basically is the minimum wage. And I said, well, minimum wage is kind of difficult to talk about because it depends on what state you're in. They inevitably just don't understand why things are different state to state. And I don't like making this comparison because it's not at all accurate, but states are almost like countries in Europe. They are somewhat self-governing, and it depends on which party is in power, how much power the states get, blah, blah, blah. Right, so I don't mind talking about that shit, except for it makes my mind hurt because it started off with such good intentions, like any government. They had the right idea. But people who are motivated by nothing but greed get in because of capitalism and fuck up the system. They just fuck it all up. Senators or House representatives or even presidents in the past having agendas from special interest groups instead of the subsidiaries that they're elected to support, get in office, all they care about is pushing the special interest agenda. And it creates gridlock, especially when, the presidency and the legislative branch have different parties in power. I don't need to explain this to any American. They understand this on a fundamental level. but it just makes my fucking head hurt. And, my date asked basically, well, if they know that this is what happens, why do they keep doing it? Why don't they put in, like, safeguards, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, there's supposed to be safeguards, but they fail because greed will always win. Unfortunately, in a capitalistic society, greed will always win. And Jesus Christ, I had another thought about that. And it's gone. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about at all. Politics. Oh, here's where it was. I said, unfortunately, what I just told you, after I was done my 30-minute fucking lecture about the structure of the U.S. government, I said, unfortunately, there is a distinct percentage, and I'm going to be optimistic and call it 35%. I don't know, I'd have to actually look it up. But I know for sure there is a substantial percentage of the U.S. population who does not even know. They could not name the 3 branches of government because education in that country is fucked. I'm not saying it's any better here. I'm not saying it's I'm just talking about the U.S. Don't get all fucking butthurt. Just talking about the U.S. How do I know this? I've seen it. You have to remember that I was born and raised in the Thousand Islands of New York, and I have seen this at work. I can guarantee that there are people I graduated high school with, if I asked them to name the 3 branches of government, they wouldn't fucking know. So yeah, that's how I know. Because I was born and raised white trash, and I know better than most what the sad, sad outcome of that education system is. Look at my sister, my oldest sister. She never graduated high school. Try as I might, I couldn't get her how to understand how to add and subtract mixed numbers. In case you don't know what a mixed number is, it's a whole number followed by a fraction. You always have to convert the mixed number to a fraction to manipulate it mathematically and then reconvert it to a mixed number. I don't know why I know this shit. Okay, school came really easy to me. I'm really grateful for that. But I don't think this is brain-busting fucking material either. I think if you get the shit straight, kids might come out knowing just a little bit more. And again, I'm not comparing the U.S. to any other country, because that's just not fair. You can't compare the U.S. to other countries as far as education system goes, or anything, because they just, they're in a league of their own, for better, for worse. But what I wanted to talk about is politics from the Kiwi standpoint, because it seems that no one here takes a vested interest in what's going on in their politics. I'm the kind of person where I at least want a baseline level of understanding, because I am choosing to become a citizen of this country, and I want to be an informed citizen. That's just my belief. You certainly can't spout off opinions about shit that you're not educating yourself in. But I find it so hard. So I listen to podcasts from Radio NZ called Focus on Politics and Best News of the Week. And I shit you not, in Best News of the Week, I've heard the same stories like 3 weeks tandem. It's not the best news of the week. They might as well just do the best news of the fucking month. Shit's not changing week to week. But anyway, I digress. When I listen to Focus on Politics, I laugh, and it's not because I understand what they're saying and I think it's funny. It's because I don't understand what they're saying, and it just sounds like rabble, 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 rabble. Like that quintessential courtroom thing where one person says one thing and then it's just a fucking uproar of incoherent, god damn, that truck is loud, incoherent rabbling. And you can hear people laughing at these people talking, shouting. Like, it's pure chaos. It reminds me of the Muppets. Like, I just imagine a bunch of Muppets rabbling. It's that ridiculous. And the only thing I can figure out here as far as politics is concerned is that they really seem to upplay not so important shit and downplay important shit. Like, they just it's the whole aversion tactic. Like, if we don't talk about it, people won't know and people won't care. I'm not really sure. I thought that was kind of strange. You know, and I'm also not, I'm not going to rip on Kiwis. They don't seem particularly interested. And as far as they're concerned, it's very straightforward how it all works. Because whoever is in power, whoever has the majority lead, just rules and pushes their agenda, and that's that. But here there's definitely, so you have the labor group, which is kind of like our Democrats, and the Nationals, which is kind of like our Republicans, but they actually will work together to pass a bill. And I'm not saying that Dems and reps don't work together, because they have, on very rare occasions, worked together to pass a bill. But here it's just, they understand that there's going to be nothing but gridlock. And they're not so fucking stubborn as to shut down the most powerful government in the world. One of the most powerful governments in the world. Because the Republicans are pissing and moaning about Obamacare, and the Dems, you know, are pissing and moaning about whatever their taxes, or increasing taxes, you know, whatever they want. Because I'm not saying either one of them is fucking better than the rest. I'm socially liberal. I was stoked that the Supreme Court passed gay marriage. I think that's a no fucking brainer. But there you have it. I can already tell, though, unfortunately, that I'm going to have to keep up at least modestly with U.S. news and politics, because damn near every other day, some Kiwi I know comes up to me and they're like, Summer, what's going on over there? I'm like, I don't fucking know. They're crazy bastards. Why do you think I left? I don't fucking know. They're like, why doesn't anybody like Obamacare? That's the only thing that's helped Americans in health. It's like, yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. Why do you think I left? Oh, why do they allow everybody to have guns? I was like, these are questions I can't answer. Please stop asking. Why would they put up Donald Trump? Is that a joke? And I'm like, I fucking hope so, but I don't think it is. It's a great tactic to avert any attention from the Dems, because I was thinking, who the hell are the Dems going to put up? And then I did the forehead slap. Oh, well, Hillary Clinton, of course. They almost have to put up someone as stupid as Donald Trump just to say, look at me, like that little fucking kid who doesn't get enough attention. Look at me, look at who we put up. We're the most ridiculous party of all. Well, I could have told you that 8 years ago when you ruined the chance of McCain becoming president because you fucking matched him with Sarah Palin as a VP backer. Wow. Holy shit, was that the dumbest move in history. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I'm glad it happened because it got Obama in. And everybody can suck my balls if you don't like Obama. He's the only reason I stayed in that country as long as I did. He's a great man. He's a puppet. Poor fucker. Any president, whatever. I don't even care if he's Republican. I feel bad for presidents. They can't get shit done. Whatever. I'm done. I'm done talking about politics. God, that's just fucking exhausting. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my little rant there. I'm trying to keep these short. Somebody said that I made them too long. It's like, oh fuck. Here's my take on talking. I've had this take on for a few years now. When I first heard it, I don't remember where I heard it. I'd give you the source if I could remember. But either way, here it is. Life is a filibuster. Ha! On the topic of politics, look up filibuster. Life is like a filibuster. If you don't stop talking, you can't die. So yeah, that's how I'll avoid death. That's how I've avoided it for this long. See how long I can keep it going. All right, lighters.